Take a look here. I just mentioned the Saturday kickoff. Well, there it is. Saturdays at 11 a.m. here on Channel 6. Also, sportsource.tv. Also, our YouTube channel. So you can find it any of those places, but we prefer if you watch it right here on television. Also, here are the Vols and the Hogs by the numbers. We'll leave this up for a second. I tell you what, I'm going to mess up my director here, but welcome to the Sports Source. Let's go to the next full screen, and then I want to bounce back to that one. Here's a challenge for you. There we go. We'll leave the other one up later or longer. Taylor Green, you see what he's done: 468 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns rushing, 5 touchdowns through the air, 1,236 passing yards. So he's not the most prolific passer in the world, but he's a true dual threat. You haven't seen one yet. Jaquindon Jackson. It's basically him, Dylan Sampson, at the top of the SEC rushing list right now. 500 yards rushing. He's already got 9 touchdowns on the season, or 8. I can't see that far. 8 catches for 85 yards as well. And Andrew Armstrong's their leading receiver. He actually got into it with the line yesterday. Told them to start blocking a little bit better for Mr. Green. Then he left the game a little bit, so I'm not sure what his injury status is. I tried to read up on it last night. Nobody really mentioned it, so I'm assuming he will be a go for Tennessee. Now, let's get back to that previous full screen. Look at that. Way to go. We'll leave that up for a while. The numbers in red, you see anything in green, that's an offensive number. The reddish pink there, that's defensive number. And then the red actual text, that's who's got the strength there. And the interesting things that stood out to me, penalty yards per game, well, Arkansas's got the advantage there, so that could be a problem spot for you. Turnover margin, you've got the advantage there. They've already had 9 turnovers on the year. Sacks, you have the advantage there. They have given up a truckload of sacks so far. Field goals, their kicker has not been very good so far, but they are much better in the red zone. Well, not much better, but they are better than you red zone. We'll leave that up and let you peruse that for a second. Let me ask everyone here. Keys to victory, Tennessee and Arkansas. Will West, you can start.
Control the line of scrimmage. That's what it's going to come down to. Sam Pittman's offensive lines, I don't think they have the talent that some other SEC teams do, but they're going to block hard. And you get that from Sam Pittman every time. But it also comes down to when you control the other side of the line of scrimmage, you're setting an edge for Taylor Green, and you're making sure you're being disruptive and try to speed his clock up a little bit. Because he can throw the ball downfield. He couldn't last year at Boise. He can this year.
Yeah, I think it will be keeping Taylor Green uncomfortable. Apply pressure to the quarterback. There was a really pivotal play late in the game against the Aggies. It was a 4th and 1. They ended up converting it to get to the 34, but then a sack, fumble, recovery. The Aggies drain out the clock, and then they win. So what Tennessee's defense needs to do is find those cracks in their offensive line, pressure the quarterback, and when he's pressured, he does not make very timely or smart plays. I think that'll be the difference maker in this game.
This is on paper at least, it looks like it's going to be the first real good test for the secondary, which going into the season we wondered about. We've seen that they're faster, they're more athletic, they tackle better than last year's group. Can they cover? Oklahoma had a pair of really good receivers who one didn't play and one left the game in the first quarter. So you really haven't been tested. You had the one kid from NC State, but Grayson McCall just couldn't get him the ball. And maybe that's Tennessee's plan again. Vince, keys to victory for Tennessee.
Don't let the former Vols that are now starting at Arkansas beat you. Addison Nichols starts at center, then Nico Slaughter starts in the secondary. I'm kidding. That is not one.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, it's a good one.
You can tell you're a producer at heart, though. Just throwing those in there. It's good.
But I think the red zone, you saw that Arkansas was better offensively converting in the red zone. And Taylor Green has had some of his biggest misses in the red zone where it's been wide open receivers in the end zone and then he misses them. But if he's better there, then that could be a tough thing. Tennessee is better defensively. Arkansas has allowed more of those red zone scores. So I think that's going to be a big part of the game is the red zone, both offensively and defensively.
Going to be an interesting matchup. Pittman, you went into this season wondering if he'd be fighting for his job at this point. He's 3-2. The Bobby Petrino factor going against Tennessee's defense is going to be a fun one to watch as well. Paige, Will, Vince, thank you all for being here. I appreciate all of you. And I'll see you all for the Saturday show as well. We'll see you for the Saturday show. We'll see you back here with our usual post-game crew next Sunday. And we appreciate you being with us. We appreciate our sponsors. Get out and see them this week. They're the reason we keep coming here every week. See you then.